Today, we are so fortunate to have Natalie Layne joining us today. Thanks for joining us, Natalie. This is fantastic.
Thank
And I
you.
want to
Thanks
give
for
you
having me.
absolutely, I want to give a quick introduction for our readers that may not have connected the song to who you are, because if they've been listening to Worship Road Radio, they certainly have heard your song. So today we're welcoming Natalie Layne. Natalie's based in Nashville, also a graduate of Belmont University. And I think the only person I've ever met with a master's degree in commercial piano. Very impressive. Uh,
Crazy.
1 year ago this month was your debut album, All Joy. You're signed
hmm
with Centricity, and you're going
hmm
to be on the road a bit this year that we're going to be talking about. So
Yeah.
whether Natalie's in front of a grand piano or some keys, it's great music, and I'm so glad to have you here on our interview. Welcome to Breakout.
Oh, thanks, Scott. What an
Oh,
introduction. Thank
yeah,
you.
well, you've earned it. Let me ask a question. I worked at Grand Canyon University for a number of years, and we started our own worship program there, and we had a showcase every year, and it was so fun. I mean, the intensity, you wouldn't expect it, just an outsider looking in, but the competitiveness and the intensity was fantastic. Now, as I understand it, Natalie, you won Belmont's Christian Showcase. Is that
hmm
right?
Yeah, that's
Give
right.
us a story on that. How'd that go?
It seems maybe similar to what you're talking about. So it's kind of an American Idol style,
Mhm.
competition, I guess. And so at Belmont, where I went to college, they have kind of one for each genre of music. So there's a country showcase and a pop showcase and a R&B showcase and all these different things. So I auditioned for the Christian showcase, and I just thought it was just a fun little thing that I was going to get to do with my friends,
Yeah.
and so we sent in a video audition and then we made it to the live audition. It really felt like we were on The Voice or something, like it felt
Yeah.
like a reality show. Um, and so eventually we made it all the way to the final performance, which is four people, four artists just playing their songs for the whole school, which was like so much fun.
I
I
bet.
just thought it was a fun thing that I was going to do with my band, and it's good that I just thought that. What I didn't know is that all of the labels in Nashville come to these things to like scout who's upcoming,
You didn't know that in advance.
I had no clue, which
Wow.
was awesome. Yeah. So I had a great time. We ended up winning the showcase. It was so much fun. And then immediately I got reached out to by all these different labels. So it was like kind of crazy, but I'm so glad we were just able to just have so much fun with it. I didn't think anything of it
Wow.
until after, and that's when I met my label, Centricity.
Centricity. So now, as I understand it, you were an indie artist for some time before that.
hmm
And so you put in, you paid your dues. So
For
talk
sure.
to us about that season of your artistic life.
Yeah. Well, I moved to Nashville when I was 18, and so I've just, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and everything
Yeah.
that Nashville artists are when they get here.
Yeah.
And so I just started meeting songwriters and doing a lot of co-writing and just having a blast. I love this town and how creative everybody is. And so was just writing songs that I loved and wanted to put them out. And so I started releasing on my own, and then started working with my manager, and we started releasing some stuff um, together. And it was so cool. So that was a season of probably 5 years that we were doing it independently. And one of the things that really made a difference for us during that time was I just started posting these little clips on social media of whatever song I was writing at the time. I would just post it on TikTok and Instagram and whatever, um, and just say, "This is what I wrote this morning." It was in real time. I was sharing these songs, and it ended up being so cool because all these people would find it and kind of weigh in on the song as I was
That's
writing it.
cool.
They would say, "This should be the next part," or "We could change this part." So it became like a giant online co-write. And so that's kind of what started things for us. And through that, I started getting invited to play shows. And so by the time I graduated college, I was doing music for a living, which was a dream.
Wow.
I just never thought that was possible. So, um, Yeah, so we did it independently for a long time. And even when I met Centricity, I mean, those things take time. So we talked to them for like 4 years before we signed.
Wow.
And at that time, it was like, by that point, we were doing music. And so it wasn't like we were like, we have to have a label right now, but it ended up being such a great partnership by the time we did sign with them. So it's been a
That's
cool journey.
awesome. Now, so you were a bit of a pro in that showcase already. I mean,
I
you've
was
been doing
trying.
gigs. Did you intimidate your other competitors?
I have no idea. I was not thinking that hard about it. I
Yeah.
just was, those were some of my first songs that we played at the showcase that I had released. And so I was just having a blast. And I think everybody else was too. We weren't thinking about it, and where it would lead, but it ended up being a huge part in the story.
So you're too young to know, but back in the days, I was on the GMA board, and we had something called GMA in the Rockies. And
Okay.
Estes Park every summer, people would come in for training resources, but there'd be a showcase
Mhm.
that was a big, big deal. Celebrity judges, Jars of Clay. They were one of the ones that won and pushed on their career. I really miss that. I think it's such a special thing. Maybe someday the industry can bring that back, but
I
I
think
can
we should.
imagine.
Yeah, I hear about that all the time because my parents grew up in Colorado and they grew up going to that.
Oh,
So I'm like, why did it stop? We should bring it back.
yeah, that's another
You know.
conversation. Another conversation. Listen, I love your song All Joy. We play it often on Worship Road Radio, but I think my favorite is Church Kids.
Oh,
And it has this energy. Um, it's not a seeker song, of course, but it's a song that if you were in that lifestyle, that time of life, you know exactly what you're talking about. So I have to ask, what was the motivation? Give us, peel back the onion and tell us a little bit about writing that song.
totally. Yeah, so I mean, I'm a church kid through and through. I grew up in the church every time it was open.
Yeah,
Basically had a key to the church. We were always there. And that's been true for generations in my family. My parents are believers, my grandparents are believers. They've passed it down to us. And I just felt like, we don't really have songs for that or about that journey of knowing the Lord from a young age. We have all these
yeah.
songs about finding him maybe at an older age, but we don't have songs about being a kid and finding Jesus, within the four walls of your church. And I think for me, and I think this is true for a lot of church kids, but we can feel like sometimes that maybe our testimony as a church kid is less powerful because it's not as crazy as somebody else's. There aren't as many twists and turns or whatever. So I wanted to write a song to show that the testimony of a church kid is actually really powerful because even if it's not so much what God has brought us through, it's like what he's kept us from, what he's protected us from.
Yeah,
And so it shows a different side of God, right? All of our stories are a miracle. Salvation is a miracle, however it happens,
so
right?
true.
But for us, like it shows God as protector, right? He's provided for us from a young age. And maybe for somebody who has a different story, it shows him as savior, whatever. Like it shows different aspects of our God. And so I just wanted to kind of highlight this one because I know there are a lot of church kids who might feel that way. And I just think it's really powerful that we've gotten to know Jesus from the beginning and really establish a life with him. So wanted to write about that.
Well, you did a great job. Can you give us a little insight? Where was one of the church camps you went to?
Yeah. So I grew up at a church called New Life in Colorado. And
I went to New Life in Colorado.
no way, really?
Ted Haggard.
Yes,
Were,
the
were
tech
you
days.
there with
Yeah.
Ted?
Oh yeah.
No
Yeah.
kidding. I
So
had
I
no
grew, I
idea.
mean, from the time I was 3 or 4 years old, we went there and so that's where I grew up like leading worship and learning from all those people and
Ross Parsley.
Ross and all the
Uh,
Parsleys, John
yeah.
Egan, Jared
He,
Anderson was
oh,
like
they were
huge
so
for me.
good. Desperation
So
Band was so good.
it's the best. Yeah.
What do you know?
And I didn't even then, like I didn't really know what we had. Like those people were just my friends, and they were kind of teaching me how to lead worship. I didn't know that people knew who they were,
Yeah, yeah,
People know their songs. So it was a real gift to kind of be mentored by them and get to watch them lead all growing up. And so we had a conference at our church called Desperation that we would have
yeah,
every summer. And so I would be
absolutely.
there. I was right in the front, doing that, doing the church camps. And that's where I met Jesus at a Desperation conference and
No
just have
kidding. I
never
was at
looked back.
many of them. I was at many of them. That's
They're the
terrific.
best. Yeah.
Now, fortunately, the problems in new life didn't cause you to exit an exit ramp, which I
Hmm.
know it did many. So I'm really pleased about that. That's a talk for another
Yeah.
day.
Yes.
Um,
My parents they had a good head on their shoulders for sure.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a master's in commercial piano. How does that change and manifest in your songwriting and in your producing? Because you're a producer as well.
Yeah. It's still so funny when I hear people say that I have a master's. I'm like, I really never meant to get a master's. Like,
Really?
that was not the plan at all. So, but it was funny because of the timing of it all. I did my undergrad at Belmont and then graduated into COVID. And so
Oh,
I had thought I was going to be playing all these shows and then obviously none of that happened. Um so I thought, I don't know, I might want to be a professor someday. I might want to teach at the college level or something. And to do that, you need a master's. And so I thought, well, I'm just sitting at home during COVID. I might as well do something with my time. So
yeah.
went back and got a master's and just loved like working with my professors on all of that. And um, but it really has just given me so much language to play. I've always loved playing the piano, but it's just given me so many more places I can go. And um, while I was there too, I worked with a really great jazz band and was able to like arrange and produce for them. And so that just gave me so much, again, language for producing, for leading a band, all of those kind of skills that I didn't know I needed, but now that I get to use in various ways. So I think without that time, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. And I didn't know that, but the Lord knew that. And so
Yeah.
it's really been a gift to use all that.
Very cool. So, I didn't plan on this question, but I have to ask you. I've constantly wondered why isn't there any Christian music in the jazz genre?
Hmm.
Just can't seem to find it anywhere. Have you
Yeah.
ever run across that? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah. And I don't know why. I'm like, we've got this great gospel music. We've got kind of some blues going on.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't really have straight ahead jazz. And um, I think we're just now getting to the place where people are kind of realizing that and thinking about it. So there are a few artists popping up who are doing it now.
Oh,
So I love this artist named Emma Nissen. Have you heard about her? She is amazing. So she does like straight ahead Christian jazz. My thing is like jazz influenced. But so there are a few people popping up and I think it's really exciting. So maybe this is the time for that.
well, I would love it, and I've been looking for it for a long time, no doubt. So, one more interesting question, and that is if our readers were to look at your own playlist, what are they going
Mm.
to see you listening to?
Ugh, I'm kind of all over the place. This is a hard question because
Yeah, yeah.
I still love classical music. I love jazz, so I'm listening to Bach and then I'm listening to like, you know, some jazz stuff but I've always loved gospel music too. So growing up, my mom would always play Christian radio. That was like her, thing. And I grew up loving that. And then my dad would always play either like huge gospel songs or like like Earth, Wind and Fire,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
or like the band Chicago.
Oh, I
Like
love
that was kind
Chicago.
of was kind of what I grew up with. So
Horns.
that totally influenced what I listened to, and so I
Oh,
still listen to them. Um, I love so many of these new artists coming up in Christian music. I'm friends with a guy named Blessing Offer, who I really
oh,
love.
his new release, Brighter Days, the new version is so good.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about a lot of that that's upcoming. But yeah, my taste is a little all over the place, but I think it's
Well,
good.
I love that. Okay, follow-up question. If you were to do a cover, and we do
Mm.
play on Worship Road, and I'm sure Caleb will never do this, but we play covers that Christian artists do. Corey Asbury did an entire album of
So
covers.
good.
If
Yeah.
you were to do a cover, what would be some of the songs you'd consider?
Oh, that's so tough. I've thought about this because I mean, I do think we need some good covers of like the 90s Christian classics, you know? I think we need maybe a new Jesus Freak.
Oh,
I
wouldn't that
think
be fun?
we need maybe, some Michael W. Smith or something. Um, One of my favorite artists of all time is Nicole Nordeman.
Oh, yeah,
I
from
think
Colorado.
she's also from Colorado. Yeah, so I would
Yes.
love to cover something from her. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay, I'll
Maybe
be
some
on
of
the
the
lookout, Natalie. I'll be on the
yeah.
lookout for that. Okay, so let's wrap this up. What's in store for the rest of the year?
I'm so excited. I'm working on new music, and so that'll come out sometime this year. And then I'm traveling a lot, so we're doing a lot of festivals this summer. Got some shows all across America, and then we're traveling outside of the States for the first time, and so be on the lookout for that.
Oh, very good. But Canada?
I'm excited.
Anything with Canada?
We're working on it. We're trying so
Okay.
hard. I mean, y'all really are so close. We could get there
Yes.
so easily.
That's what I tell all
So
my friends in Nashville. Hello.
we're
There's this
working
thing called the border, but there's a lot of people up
totally.
here. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I'd
So
love it.
when you talk to your management, make sure you don't let them just say Toronto. It's got to come to
Okay.
Vancouver, West Coast,
Yep.
Best Coast.
Let's go.
Okay,
I love that.
Natalie, just to wrap up, some artists and even some of my friends, obviously, their 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 passion is like hurt and overcoming, and which is very important.
Hmm.
But you're in this group, which I would include with Ren Collective,
Mm.
that just eschew joy. It's always you look at your YouTube shorts or your Instagram videos, everything is joy. And I just really appreciate that. You inspire me. I know you inspire a lot of people. So um, thank you for joining us today and introducing
Thank
yourself to
you.
our readers. And I can't wait to see you in person.
Thank you so much. I can't wait either. We got to do it
Okay.
someday.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Scott.